Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, preparing for recreational marijuana sales. We're going to take you inside one dispensary tonight as the state prepares to drastically expand its cannabis industry.
We're also following breaking news tonight after a person is killed in a crash in a Connecticut city. We'll tell you what we've learned from state police.
And the former head of a beloved children's museum in Connecticut is sentenced for possessing child pornography. We're going to tell you what happened in court. But we begin at 10 with how Connecticut is preparing for recreational marijuana sales exactly 1 week from today. Good evening, I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Brent Harden. Thanks for joining us. Starting next Tuesday, anyone 21 and older will be able to buy cannabis products from 9 dispensaries around the state. Fox 61's Gabby Molina got a look inside one of them tonight. She joins us live in Branford now with more on what you need to know. Gabby.
Brent and Jen, Blue Point Wellness of Connecticut is among the dispensaries that are going to be becoming a hybrid retailer next week. That means they're going to be expanding from just medical marijuana sales to medical marijuana sales and recreational marijuana. And they say that they are ready for this new wave of customers that they're going to be getting. In just 1 week, adults will be able to buy cannabis products for recreational use right here in Connecticut.
We're really excited. Obviously it's a big day for the state of Connecticut.
The January 10th start date gives 9 dispensaries all around the state the green light to open up their doors to a wider range of customers. Blue Point Wellness of Connecticut in Branford has been preparing for this moment.
We are ready. We've been working really hard, getting ready to first and foremost serve the medical patients that we've been serving for all the years. So we've acquired additional parking spaces. We're to make sure our vault's nice and full, having deliveries come in every day.
Anyone 21 and older will be able to buy products up to a total of 1/4 of an ounce of cannabis flower or its equivalent.
That is really to just ensure that we have enough supply for anybody who wants to make these purchases, and as well as ensuring that there's enough supply for our medical patients.
The buying process is a secure one. You'll need an ID that will be checked at the door and then at the counter before you make your purchase. Customers on Tuesday are going to come in here and they're going to be able to walk over to these kiosks and then walk me through what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be able to look at products by price point. We're going to be able to look at the types of different products that we carry, pre-rolls, flour, edibles. There's a lot of different ways that we could search through our menu.
The Department of Consumer Protection says it's also ready for this next step in Connecticut's legalization of recreational marijuana. But it doesn't expect too much to change.
Many of our neighboring states are already selling these products. So this isn't a novelty anymore like it used to be. It may be exciting for a lot of people to make these purchases legally in the state of Connecticut, but we don't necessarily expect it to be quite as much of a rush as we've seen in other states.
And there are still rules around where people can consume cannabis too. Towns and cities have their own, but on a state level, it's prohibited at state parks or beaches and anywhere else you wouldn't be allowed to smoke or vape tobacco.
All of the laws about public consumption are still in effect. Nothing changes in that regard.
Sales can begin at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, but here at Blue Point, they're going to be having a ribbon-cutting ceremony at 8:45 that morning. The Department of Consumer Protection does recommend that any medical marijuana patients get what they need ahead of January 10th in anticipation of longer lines and traffic. Live in Branford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
It was a drippy and dreary day out there with off and on rain, and we have still more showers out there tonight. But the big story moving forward will be some incredible warmth during the day tomorrow with highs in the 50s and 60s and more rain, you guessed it, but it looks like most of the day will be dry. Let's take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Anywhere between 1/3 of an inch and 1/2 an inch of rain coming down. So a good drink of water out there. And we've got areas of patchy, dense fog. That fog lower than a 1/4 mile visibility in Chester. Not so bad in Hartford where visibility is fine, but down around a 1/4 mile for the New Haven area. So keep in mind that will continue to be out there through the overnight hours. It's the coldest in Windsor Locks at 39 degrees. But 56 in Danbury, a sign of what's ahead as temperatures will actually continue to rise as we head through the overnight hours. Still some leftover showers to get through, so off and on rain as we head through the evening tonight. But look at those temperatures. Instead of dropping like they typically do at night, the numbers will hold steady and even steadily rise. So we start off in the 40s. High temperatures climb into the 50s and 60s as we head through the afternoon. Record challenging warmth while we're dry for much of the day. Later in the afternoon and at night, a rising chance for another round of showers. But before the rain arrives, there will be some dry time for you to get out and kind of enjoy these warmer temperatures. Any signs of winter in the forecast? We'll check it out coming up.
All right, thank you, Rachel. We are following breaking news tonight in Middletown where a person is dead after a crash.
Yeah, Fox 61's Sarah Sanchez joins us in the Breaking News Center to tell us what we've learned so far. Sarah.
Well, Brent and Jen, details are limited right now, but state police say the person died in a rollover crash. This happened just after 3 this afternoon. It was on Route 9 South near exit 11. Police also found a gun in the car during the investigation. Route 9 was shut down for several hours this evening between exits 11 and 12. As you can see, lots of investigators there on the scene. We're working to learn more about what led up to that crash, and we'll bring you updates as soon as they're available. In the Breaking News Center, I'm Sarah Sanchez. Jen, Brent.
All right, Sarah, keep us updated. Thank you. And new at 10, the former executive director of a well-known Connecticut children's museum was sentenced on a child pornography charge. 56-year-old Robert Eckert of West Hartford will spend 5.5 years in prison. He was in charge of the Lutz Children's Museum in Manchester. In June of 2020, investigators seized his phone and found more than 1,800 pictures and 70 videos showing child sex abuse, including prepubescent kids. He pleaded guilty in September to distributing child porn. He's free on $1,000 bond and is required to report to prison next month.
And new at 10, a car crashed into a liquor store in Tolland today, causing a big mess inside. Tolland's town manager says it happened at Village Spirit Shop on Route 195, right near the on and off ramps for Interstate 84. Pictures show liquor bottles all over the floor behind the counter. We're told the store will be closed for a few days to clean up and assess the damage.
More than 1,000 people gathered in North Haven today to say goodbye to firefighter Matthias Wirtz. He died of natural causes while responding to a fire on the morning after Christmas. His funeral was held at St. Elizabeth of the Trinity Parish. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc shows us how he's being remembered.
Those who knew Wirtz speaking about him today as a big teddy bear with big hands, big hugs, and a raspy voice. They say he would do anything for anyone, and he will be greatly missed. A solemn ceremony for a local hero.
My friend, who rest in peace with the Lord. The brothers had it from him.
But I want you to really know that he was a hero.
After 22 years in the fire service, Matthias Wirtz got his last call, a final send-off with full honors. His band, his North Haven fire crew members, and more than 1,000 firefighters from Connecticut, New York, and Massachusetts, all standing in the pouring rain with Matt on their minds.
His service is honored, and it's not going to be forgotten, and we care.
Those who knew Matt say he spent his whole life caring, too, for everyone else before himself. The fire chief says he did that the night he died when he was responding to a fire on Quinnipiac Ave and suddenly collapsed, dying of heart disease.
You could hear his troubled voice. He was hurting, but he wasn't going to say anything to anybody because he knew his brothers were inside.
Those brothers now grieving, feeling the weight of his absence as they carry his drum, his helmet, and his cremated remains to their final resting point.
He is somebody that would try to increase the morale around him, in spite of himself sometimes, and to make everybody's life just a little bit easier.
Now they'll take it from here, but they'll never forget their friend and brother.
Thank you, Matt, for everything you did. Thank you for making the world a bit better. Your presence inside and outside the firehouse, the North Haven community, and in our hearts is irreplaceable.
Now, Wirtz leaves behind a wife, a mother, stepchildren, and of course, a lot of family and friends. If you want to make a donation in his name, you can do that through the North Haven Professional Firefighters Charitable Association. For the link to that, head to fox61.com and click on the local news tab. We are in North Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Julia, thank you. Well, leaders here in Connecticut and in Massachusetts are working to find a solution to the new electric rate increases. The price hikes began Sunday, and customers could pay around an average of $80 more per bill. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority met today to discuss why the electric increases happened and how they can change. Right now, Pura says the solution isn't a fast one. They say a low fuel supply during high demand is causing the increase, but updated infrastructure, new technology, and less dependence on natural gas are all vital to lowering electric costs.
The process changes are difficult to address the underlying structural issues. With regards to having adequate supply or transition to a clean energy future. But I think those are the type of things that are worthy of discussing further.
And no decision was made at this meeting. It was just for information. The next Pura meeting has not yet been announced.
Well, state police have recovered more than $20,000 in a cryptocurrency scam. Police have been investigating since September after a Milford resident told officers they were scammed into depositing $41,000 into a series of Bitcoin ATM machines. Police were able to return $23,000 to the victim. The funds were traced to two major cryptocurrency exchanges in the U.S. and the Cayman Islands. Police say the suspects live outside of the country and no arrest is anticipated at this time. If you believe you're a victim of a scam, you should contact your local police department.